I am the biggest fan of indie sculptors. I'm the biggest fan of metal miniatures. You know this about me. If you watch my videos, I talk about this all the time. I never shut up about it. That's kind of why this channel is here, right? So when I was approached by Forge of Ice and they asked me if I wanted to show off some of their miniatures, I was over the moon. Forge of Ice makes like pulp fantasy miniatures in metal for use in like TTRPGs, right? So like D&D, Call of Cthulhu, Shadowdark, Mörk Borg, whatever you can think of. Whatever you want to play, they've got minis for it. They've got a huge like Lost World range, which is sort of like, you know, like Journey to the Center of the Earth kind of a deal with like dinosaur people and weird forgotten gods and stuff like that. They've recently acquired a really cool project where they have a lot of old school pulpy barbarian sculpts sculpted after like official cover art illustrations for those sort of short stories and novels and magazine covers. There's some terrain in here as well, and even some modules. So I hope you like this stuff as much as I do, because I'm really excited to get into this and show you some of this stuff. I think I want to run all of the adventures that came in this box. Anyway, without further ado, let's open up this box. I'm going to unbox it with you. We'll take a look at all of the content, all of the miniatures inside, and I'll talk a little bit about why I think this is so special and important, because I think this is a little look into like where our hobby got started, right? When D&D first came out and the first people started playing with like little metal miniatures, this is kind of close to that. All right, let's take a look. All right, let's open up this box and look at these samples. Now, as I mentioned, I did get this stuff sent to me for free to review and take a look at on the channel, but no money has exchanged hands, and I am free to say whatever I want, so don't worry, this isn't like a sponsored advertisement. Now, this is a little sample set of the Barbaric Splendor minis that I mentioned before. So these are miniatures inspired by old pulpy cover art for books with barbarians on them. And these sculpts here are sculpted by Boris Vovoshin, who has sculpted stuff for Westphalia, Mörk Borg, Pirate Borg, and now also Deathbringer. And so these are really, really nice hand-sculpted miniatures. Look at these barbarians. Boris is like a green stuff god, and I've got some of his miniatures, but these are really, really something else, especially in full metal. That's what I love about these minis. I think having so many miniatures just completely made out of metal and having such a beautiful hand-sculpted style, that just, I don't know, it elevates them from game piece to sort of artwork. Here's a half giant with an animal pelt and ragged hair, and he's doing a battle cry. He's got some skulls on his belt, as is customary for any sort of Conan-esque barbarian. And so this next miniature is going to illustrate this point perfectly. This mini is Thorn from Snake Man's Bane by Howie K. Bentley. I'm just gonna put the cover art on screen right here, and you can see what I mean. So this is how the cover art gets sort of translated into miniature form. Even got those horns there, or fangs, I don't know what those are. Here's a beautiful sort of classic Valkyrie miniature with that curved sword and that winged helmet. Really, really nice stuff. Like, each of these minis would make a perfect D&D character. Here's a sorcerer with a very 80s outfit and a very 80s hairstyle. She looks impeccable. Look at those flames coming out of her arm. She is ready for business. And continuing with the crazy barbarians, look at this guy. He's got that awesome helmet. He's got the fur on his shoulders. He's got the sort of stomach plate, a big sword in the ground, and then these are like antlers that come out of the helmet. You just glue them in. This one has like some sort of beast accessory as a helmet decoration, and a giant two-handed axe, and a flowing cape made out of animal furs. Really cool stuff. Now, there were also some terrain pieces included here. Now, I don't know if you knew this, but there's actually a theory that ancient people saw elephant or mammoth skulls and mistook the nasal cavity for the trunk for the eye hole, and that's where the myth of the Cyclops came from. And so here we've got one of those sculpts with incredible detail, all of those little carved runes, and that's a little shrine. Really, really nice. Also included was this beautiful metal lion. Oh, I actually recently made another purchase with a very similar feline, so that would make for a cool painting project. I love this. Look at how beautiful these muscles are rendered. I don't know, it's just something about like these metal minis that really gets me going. Look at this! Armored crocodiles. These are like some prehistoric beasts that just crawl out of some primordial sludge ready to attack your adventuring party. I love stuff like this, and it's really gotten me excited to do some sort of Lost World adventures. I haven't really done that before in any TTRPG, and it would make for a great one-shot in a system like Mörk Borg or Shadowdark or anything like that. Another terrain piece, and just look at these incredible details. I don't know why this floral pattern with these like prehistoric, almost fossilized flowers really got to me. It's so beautiful. And then on top there's this carved statue of like a pterosaur. Oh man, it just gets the mind going, right? It just inspires you to write a little adventure and have some fun with it. And I was really surprised to see this gigantic beast in there as well. This is a beautiful sculpt. I think this is cast out of resin. It's pretty light, but it feels durable, and it's got these really nice details with the scales. There's this super unique base that it slots into. I've never seen a base that's kind of like boomerang shaped before, but it does make sense. It's kind of cool. I'm not sure if I should keep that or not. And then there's two head options, as you can see, with phenomenal detail, really beautiful, and this snake-like serpentine neck that they slot into. And so you could even magnetize these if you want to have like different options, but I think I'm just going to go for one of them. And then you have this sort of Komodo dragon-esque snake lizard creature that's gigantic. Look at the length of that tail. Really cool. All right, now next up, we've got the Ophidian Menace. This will be a box set and will also include one larger resin model. But for now, we've got a little sample with the idol of the fertile serpent. So this is like a fertility idol that ancient people used to carve to help with like harvests and stuff, but it's a snake person instead. And then we've got this sort of flayed zombie ghoul victim monster. And so with this set, it's all about snake people. And they've apparently got Neanderthal servants. And I really like how this model looks, the dynamic pose, and you've got that head ornamentation with like a little snake head, and then the spear tip really looks like straight out of the Stone Age. Here's another actual snake warrior. This is like the snake people's champion, ready to attack your party, with a beautiful shield that's got a really cool iconography there, with a snake motif and sort of 3 dots or planets or something like that. Here's a primeval one, so this is an actual snake person, half snake, half man, with a sword and probably some bloodlust in there. Here's an arcanist. She's maybe like a dark elf or like a drow. She's got those bone piercings in her lower arm and a really cool sort of throwing weapon, maybe like a boomerang or like shotel sort of, but throwing it. I don't know, I'm not like a chakram. Is that what they're called? Some other stuff for the Lost World setting. We got some swamp scorpions. So these are essentially just like trilobites and other sort of prehistoric creatures that would have dwelt on the bottom of the sea, and you can get them and use them either as like base decorations or like animal encounters. These could be like some low-level monsters you fight. You choose. This could be like a village of sea creatures. Look at the diversity you get. You get some trilobites, a little sort of mussel or like sort of an oyster or something like that. And this horseshoe crab and a sea star and little lizard and some sort of worm. Really cool stuff. You don't see that too often in metal. Here's some sort of creepy ghoul or skeleton who's ready to make a deal or a barter with your party. And he's got a little companion, which is this fat, smiling lizard who I already love. Like, I want this guy to be an NPC. So good. This little set has some treasures. So there's this sort of statue with even some carving at the bottom. This could be like a golden relic. You've got this little jumping flying hog statuette. And these guys look pretty serious. These are some wardens or some guards. You could paint these faces just normal, or you could have them wearing masks. I think with the metal it looks really good. And this guy is obviously like a wealthy man, some sort of trader or noble who hasn't seen a day of hard work in his life. And with these two guards and the treasures, this already makes for a great little encounter for your party to go up against. Matching the theme, we've got another sort of warrior woman with a really cool long braided ponytail and a two-handed axe, and then we've got these sort of snake whispering enchantress models. Maybe she is the wife of the merchant guy we saw earlier, or maybe she's like some sorcerer queen and this is maybe her twin sister, and together they do like ancient snake blood magic in some forgotten temple. And what they're summoning might just be these pterosaur men. Oh man, this is such cool stuff. You don't see this stuff very often. It's just not like, it's not classic fantasy, and so it's really refreshing for me to see the sort of Lost World prehistoric stuff. Look at this! Little pterosaur guys. These look really scary actually, and they remind me of sort of Jim Henson puppetry stuff. Like, they look kind of like the Skeksis from Dark Crystal. There's another snake champion, half snake, half man, but this one's got legs. And the sculpting is phenomenal on these. Look at that face. And the scales running down the shoulders, sculpted by John Dennett, who's been sculpting since 1983 and used to work for Grenadier. Some more terrain stuff. This is a sort of a snake deity, a giant statue, and then you've got this, which I just adore, a large gorilla skull with a crown. So like this could be like some sort of giant ape deity that is revered by the local people. Oh man, the storytelling, it just writes itself, right? It's so good. Forge of Ice also makes some fantasy stuff, and so to test those, we've got a little sample here. This is a fish person. That's really cool. You can use this for sure as like a hook for a little adventure. And there's also these goblins, which really remind me of the Labyrinth sort of style of goblins. So again, the Jim Henson sort of influence in here. I love this big little guy with his horns. And then here's like maybe a chieftain or a captain. He's got the whip. Oh, actually, these remind me of the orcs from the Hobbit animated movie. Or was it Lord of the Rings animated movie? One of those. I don't know which one it was. But the one with the "Where there's a whip, there's a way" song. Comment if you remember that. Oh man, these just look really fun. They're sort of wacky and you can't really take them too seriously, but you know their weapons are still pointy and sharp, so you gotta watch out what you say to these guys. Even though they look like they'd be pushovers. Maybe they'd be easy to bribe. Maybe it would be easy to get them to fight each other, since they seem like they're pretty egotistical and short-sighted. Really, really cool. You got these two in here that could be a great, like, one of us is lying sort of encounter. And they've got these shields with the spikes that are really interesting and really cool pole arms. And I actually really like the pose when they're holding these pole arms. They look like they're guarding a door or like it won't let you through. Now also included, because man, there's just so much in here, were some actual adventure modules. I'm so excited for this. It's compatible with Shadowdark, which I'm finding to be a really enjoyable system. And these are so beautifully made. Everything that I'm looking at today, you just feel the soul and the humanity oozing through every little pore. And I'm so excited to be showcasing this stuff on the channel, because this is what it's all about for me. Look at these dragon ogres. They make these sculpts, and then to promote them, they have these beautiful hand-drawn illustrations. Now this says copy 10 out of 100, so I was very careful with this because that seems like it's quite important and special. And so thank you for sending that over. This is a module that is written for use at like conventions, and really, really cool. This is exactly the kind of stuff I'm doing with my party right now this year. Look at these illustrations, man. You can just tell when people value human art, and these guys definitely do. So the guy running Forge of Ice, Alex Bates, is also writing and co-writing all of these adventure modules, and I just think that is so cool. Like, it proves that he's into all this stuff and really part of the community, right? Look at these bookmarks. They've got little tables on here. If you're searching a gallery of an aristocrat, you might find a travel-sized Ouroboros game board of polished hardwood, or a set of 6 tortoiseshell combs, an ancient amulet, all of this stuff. It's such cool stuff to include because it really understands what DMs like in these sort of game systems. And it just keeps going. The twin heads of Everest, there's that statue that we looked at before, and these are actually 2 of those sort of giant snake lizards that we saw before. And so in this adventure, the party is hired to steal this artifact from someone else, but neither their employer nor their mark may be who they say they are. And that is such a cool concept for a little one-shot or short campaign. And once again, flipping through this is classic old school dungeon module stuff with beautiful hand-drawn illustrations. And I want more of this. Look at this cool little motif that they've put on there as well. I'm gonna treasure these, I'm gonna play these. There's another one, the Fire Pearls of Ayagan. The mad hermit Ayagan brings a handful of mystic fire pearls to the city twice a year, but his visit is long overdue. Investigate his disappearance and brave the dangers of the jungle. So cool! Oh, don't you just want to play that? I mean, I want to run it as a DM, I want to play it as a player. There's these super cool illustrations. Once again, look at this awesome inspired lion gate that leads into some sort of dungeon. This is the kind of stuff that I wish Games Workshop and other companies would still be doing. Like, go crazy with it. Be a little freaky. Do some freaky stuff instead of just high fantasy all the time. And it's system neutral. Like, all of this stuff you could, like, even if it's written for Shadowdark, you can use it with Mörk Borg or, like, I don't know, other sort of old school revival systems. Man, I love this style of TTRPG. There was also the scroll in here with another adventure module. This one in scroll form, which I've never seen before, and that is really cool as well. Actually pretty perfect for if you're traveling. You can just pop that scroll into your backpack and you're ready to play a little one-shot at an event. And also included is this sushi menu sort of a poster with all of their range on here. So you can see some of the models we looked at, and they're all painted up on here. So you can get a feel for what these will look like when I paint them eventually. So it's a Sirush is the name of that giant monster. Oh, is this not just bringing joy to you? I know it is for me. This is such cool stuff. Brings a smile to my face, seeing people love the hobby. Oh man, I don't know which of these things I'm most excited for. So much good stuff. I was not expecting this many things in this package. Forge of Ice, really cool stuff. The Barbaric Splendor, the Lost World, all of it. Go take a look, check out their Instagram, give them a follow, order some products, you know? Give them a little love for sending this stuff for me to show to you. Do you have a collection of old metal miniatures that you think are kind of in the same vein? What's your favorite pulp adventure for like D&D or Call of Cthulhu or any other TTRPG that I should play? Because this year I'm taking a little sort of D&D break to play some other systems, because I bought DCC and lots of Mörk Borg stuff and Shadowdark, and I want to play all of those. So if you've got like a cool adventure that could feature some of these miniatures, let me know. I hope you like looking at miniatures as much as I do. This video was a blast to film, so much fun. And let me know in a comment down below which miniatures I should paint first. Actually, I know which. I should probably paint my pile of shame, my backlog first. I did start a mini series about doing that, which you can check out up here. Yeah, too many miniatures to keep up with, but I think that is a pretty good problem to have, right? Anyway, I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.